Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, thanks for being here. Every year we get together, we assemble, we find out, we get some feedback from the employers. They're never bashful about calling and letting us know what we need to do more of, what we're doing wrong, or what path or direction would be better. And it's also an opportunity to hear from our leaders. So for all the ironworker leaders, thank you for what you do every day, and thank you for being here and participating in this conference. For the employers, we thank you for the opportunity and the work. And for the owner community and vendors, we know that without the opportunity to work at your facilities and the assistance that the many of you vendors give us, that our organization is a big family. Our union exists with our members, but we're nothing without our employers and the surrounding communities and the opportunity to work. So thank you, and give each one of yourselves a hand for the work you do. So where are the ironworkers? Our numbers are fairly well, but we have pockets of prosperity and pockets of poverty around this country, depending on oil prices or various market forces. We're tapping on a very high number of apprentices. Should feel really good about that, but sometimes I don't, because I know we don't graduate every apprentice we enroll. And so I look at the numbers and I see that there's more construction opportunity and spending now than there's ever been. I talk to the contractors who say, I can get more work, but where am I going to get the workers? So there's a delicate balance as we assemble here, as growing the workforce at a time when we're seeing baby boomers leave in droves. I have 5 leaders in my organization between now and the end of the year that I have to replace, that are key people that I rely on within the ironworkers leadership structure. But that's systemic. That's within our employers, that's within our business agents, that's in our workforce, that's our foreman, that's our general foreman. Life goes on and everyone is replaceable, so that's not a problem. And I have a lot of good people to choose from to fill those ranks. But the issue is more systemic, is how do we get the workforce to build the demands of today and what's just beyond us? Work doesn't seem to materialize anymore gradually. Everything is compressed. There's compressed schedules on jobs. They want them done faster in a shorter amount of time, and they want them completed safely. So we have to supply apprentices through our traditional model, but I've written till I'm blue in the face that we need the opportunity to organize the unorganized. And so as we do that, that presents new challenges for us. As we organize, you have to meld them into our training programs, you have to round out skills, and you have to make sure that you're not leaving anyone behind with specific skill sets. So I implore you, I can come up with the greatest ideas, give you the best speech at this meeting, I can write monthly articles to the members. I can't do my job without each and every one of you. The employers seeking more work opportunities, sitting on training trusts and the benefit funds, and the leaders in this room. I can't do the job without you engaging people and inspiring our members to try to embrace what was our original formation of our union 122 years ago. And that was to provide better wages and working conditions for ironworkers engaged in the ironworking community. It will be with a really refined method of delivery of instruction through our National Training Fund, the programs that Impact has, which I'm going to touch. But I'm not a magician. I cannot do this alone. I don't have a magic wand to make 5,000, 10,000 ironworkers appear. That's hard work, and it relies on each one of you. So I'm asking you, like I do annually and monthly through the magazine, is help me, help our organization grow and prosper. The best solution for our distressed benefit funds, more contractors, more members, and more importantly, more work hours. Those will lead to prosperity, and the hours in the construction community are out there right now. It's just what side of the dividing line we choose to leave that economy and where we are in it. So that's enough of my little preachy, whiny speech. I need you. I can't do the job without you. I'm happy and proud to be your leader, I'll set the direction with Bernie and Ron on my right and left arm at headquarters, but I got to have an army to follow me, and each one of you is part of the ironworker industry that's going to help us get there. So I appreciate what you're going to do and how we're going to challenge you. What has Impact done in the last year to be transformational and different? You looked, and I spoke on the Ironworker Safety Director training course. Continues to be popular. Over 400 people have attended that. Makes me pretty proud to know that we're owning our industry, that we can send workers to the employers and manage safety so that our members can go home every day where we need it to be. We had the STSC, which is a one-off of the Ironworker Safety Director training course. It's required by some owners. And what we noticed was it was construction industry general, and we made it ironworker specific last year. We not only took the burden of assembling and getting in areas, but we created an online delivery system to make it easier for ironworkers to obtain that and for the owners to get their workers certified where it's a requirement in the bid specifications. A couple years ago, I started with Miss Vicki O'Leary, and I appointed her as a district rep, and I appointed her, promoted her to general organizer this year. She does part-time duty in the safety department, but we recognized that our union, if we were going to grow and prosper, needed to reach out to more avenues and create a diversity opportunity for people of color, inner city folks, veterans, and women. And Vicki's done a bang-up job. I'm comfortable with I and me. I am going to receive an ENR Top 25 Newsmaker Award in a month on behalf of Impact and our organization for creating the women's maternity program. I didn't do nothing. I appointed Vicki and I attended a women's conference, and I heard a story that would break your heart about a female ironworker hiding the fact she was pregnant because she didn't want to leave the workforce, and she was in the rod patch busting rods, so she was wearing overalls, and she masked the fact that she was pregnant, and she ended up miscarrying. As a father of 2 daughters, I just thought, what if that was my daughter? So I brought it back to Bill, and we talked to the board, and we said we have an off-the-job accident program for our members when they hurt themselves away from work. Why wouldn't we do anything? So the board collaboratively did something. Vicki teed that up by having me in attendance at the women's program. So I will graciously accept, and I'm included in the ENR magazine, but I have a hard time accepting an award that was the work of so many others. But that's not a reflection of me or me and Bill or the Impact Board. That's a reflection of the Ironworkers International. So anytime we get some good press and it's not over a scandal or anything, I consider it good news. The Women Construction Owners and Executives Annual Leadership Conference is also acknowledging us. I thought the maternity program was last year, and then we turned the page and I'd stopped doing radio interviews and TV ads, but we continue to get recognition as an industry because we're the only ones in the construction industry that have a program like that. So it's nice to be on the tip of the spear, and for that, I guess maybe I'll take that credit. The multi-employer pension and composite plan, we continue. I sit on NCCMP. Several years ago, we started a solutions, not bailouts, proposal to Congress to try and have multi-employer folks be able to self-help and fix without a government bailout. The government said there would be no funds available to bail us out, so we came up with ways, and they're painful, to try and take some corrections to ease the withdrawal liability on the employers and to not have our pensions crash and collapse, so we could do some early intervention and self-help. So we only got part of that bill passed, and one of the bills was to ask for a composite plan. And we're continuing that pursuit in Congress. And through Impact, we have the employers knocking on the Republican side of the aisle, and through the building trades and the various initiatives, the labor unions are knocking on the Democratic side of the aisle. And we're trying to come up with a bipartisan solution that helps prospectively. What happened in the process? Central States Pension Plan went to apply for the relief offered through MEPRA, They were denied. And they missed their window, and they're about ready to go broke. If they go broke, they will put downward pressure on the Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation that affects all of us. Even the healthy funds will be taxed with premiums that are unsustainable. So we have now adopted through the National Coordinating Committee, the NCCMP, a bailout or a loan guarantee for the Teamsters so they don't be the yoke around our good, fair contractors and unions' necks and raise our premiums. And we're in the process of working on that. When you hear about pension reform on the news, they make idle conversations every once in a while. You should know that we're continuing to work on that. About 5 years back, maybe 8 years back, the oil sands in Western Canada were a boom. And there was a lot of minerals and mining in a lot of the provinces, and there was no work in the U.S., and our Canadian brothers were kind enough to have some south to north mobility. The U.S. government is very strict, and we cannot offer reciprocal benefits to our Canadian brothers. So we've taken an initiative. The President has announced that he wants to renegotiate NAFTA. So through the Canadian building trades and for our Canadian brothers, we are looking to ease and create north-south mobility to try and get many of our unemployed Canadian brothers on the U.S. projects where there's a demand for skilled workers today. I can't tell you that we're making progress, but I don't think we're making a lack of progress, but we're in the game, and they're in the process of renegotiating NAFTA as we speak. We have business development programs that continue to evolve. We started about 4 or 5 years ago on the Gulf Coast, and we wanted to get in that petrochemical space down in that Gulf Coast where we didn't have big market share. Today, we've expanded that to the Great Lakes Business Development Plan, and Western Canada is reinventing itself around the collapse of the oil price and the oil sands to insert ourselves into other markets. And yesterday, we had our Impact Trustees meeting, and it's amazing that all the folks that are adopting business development plans where we are actually targeting areas that are either underserved or we haven't knocked on those doors. Simply, one area is doing an assessment of industrial facilities that our contractors don't work, using our computer resources to be able to track the jobs and actually go knock on the door and have a cup of coffee with an industrial owner on behalf of our employers. It's innovative, but it's really just shoe leather, and appreciate that effort. And Impact is funding all these initiatives to make those things possible. We have developed strategic planning. First, we did it by the Regional Advisory Board, and now we're drilling down to local unions. And the RABs are helping the local unions reestablish a business plan. Not only the finances of where the local are, what the core disciplines are, and what allows a local to survive and employ its members, but then to look for growth opportunities within those areas. And those business plans are very good, and it allows the officers and the leaders of the local to be able to explain to the members, we're in a labor supply business, and we're in the business of training and providing skilled labor. But without a specific set of plans and guidance, it's very hard and difficult. What are the training initiatives that we're using? We've established a new rigger and signal person certification. The industry demands it, so we're making sure that it's available and on that skills verification with our members. We've created a metal building standards and curriculum. That's an area of growth, and we're underserved in both market share and the jurisdiction. And we started recognizing that we're not really doing the training necessary to get the skills necessary for the workers, so we're building and expanding that curriculum. We've revamped the IACP, or the Ironworkers Apprenticeship Certified Program, and core curriculum, and we're constantly making changes to make sure that we're tweaking our school systems, our training curriculum, and what's available so that we can continue to provide that skilled person. At the last convention, we made the apprenticeship coordinators a mandatory orientation, and this year we're going to have our apprenticeship competition and a coordinators meeting. And I encourage and expect every coordinator in the room or every leader to send their coordinator to that meeting. There's no skipping because there's innovation, there's new laws, and there's compliance that we always got to be kept up on. And no matter how seasoned your coordinator is or if he thinks that he's been there and done that, I expect to see him at the coordinators meeting, and Lee Worley puts on a hell of a show there. So hopefully I have your back and you got mine. As we go into this next year and we set those plans about what we've done and where we need to go, it's pretty simple. I need you to help me grow the workforce, and I need the contractors to take more work opportunity without any fear of being able to have a skilled supply. And in partnership, that's what we're here about, and so I'm counting on you. I appreciate you very much for being here.